always know, up front that we're Americans. So
that's cool.
But it was amazing.
That is amazing. Now I want to go to Canada and eat some curry goat.
I loved it so much. I would definitely love to go back.
Wow.
I really would. I like Toronto.
Yeah.
Well,
really they're definitely not a rude city. And I would have thought that maybe they were up there on one of the list of rudest cities.
Really?
Yeah.
Nah, I don't think you're going to see a Canadian city on there.
Wow. By this story, no. I'm worried about those people.
Yeah.
For their safety. They're so sweet and nice. Little Canadians.
Yeah, Canada's got some awesomeness to it. Now things are pricey there, but, it's because all their health care is free. Mm-hmm. So you pay for it when you buy things, there's a lot of tax and a lot of, the money has to come from somewhere, but people don't have to worry about healthcare, and it was a little bit higher, but I didn't find it like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And this was a couple years ago, and I feel like now, I feel like our cost of living here is probably worse than it was, in Canada at the time. So, and we don't have nothing to show for it.
Nothing.
We still pay for the healthcare, so
we pay for everything.
Right. So
everything. I remember back in the day, I used to look like, on the back of books, and it would say U.S. price, like $3.49. Then it would say Canada's price, $5.99. You'd be like, who in the hell lives in Canada paying $2.50 more for the same book?
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. But now.
Yeah, now you get it.
Now I get it. I would pay $2.50 more to have free health care any day of the week.
Yeah, because health care is not cheap. And like we said, places like here, the cost of living is sky high anyway, and you're not getting nothing. I mean, weather, you get some decent weather compared to other places, and that's all you got to show for it.
No, but we still have graffiti and trash.
Yes, we do. Yes,
I like Canada. They clean streets.
Clean. There's no urine smell anywhere.
That is,
I didn't see. I'm not saying they don't have homeless people, but I didn't see any. I didn't see any.
You blowing my mind right
I don't know where they are. I don't know. Maybe it's too cold, or they have. I don't know how they figured it out, but I didn't see any homeless people while we were there. We didn't see any, and we were looking, and we didn't see any. And we went through more than one city. We went from, like I said, we stayed in Niagara Falls. We traveled to Toronto, so that was back and forth. That's let's see. Yeah, from Niagara Falls to Toronto, it's kind of like from L.A. to San Diego, so it's about that far. And
it's not too bad, but it's still a mission.
But I'm saying is you cover some ground, and like I said, the whole time we just looking, looking out the window, looking for like just whatever, and it was amazing. It was amazing. It was just one part we were somewhere and the bus driver was like, "Oh, okay, well, just to give you guys a little heads up, we're about to travel through the rough part of town now." And we was like, "Oh, okay, wow, let's see what a ghetto looks like in Canada, right?" And so we're riding, and we're like, "What?" And we're like, I was like, "Sir?" And he was like, "Yeah." It's like, "When we're going to get to that rough part of town?" He was like, "Oh, yeah, that was it." I was like, "Wait, what?" I said, "Wait a minute. You mean we already passed the rough part of town?"
Wow.
He's like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Did you see anything rough?" To my wife, she was like, "I didn't see
not a thing.
Oh my God.
Not one person.
Did not see anything that looked like a rough neighborhood.
Wow.
I didn't see nothing that we would consider a rough neighborhood.
Not a loose dog, not a drug transaction, not a broken window, nothing?
Nothing.
Wow.
Nothing. It all looked like the suburbs to me.
That's crazy. I can't imagine a place like that.
Yeah. It sounds like heaven.
Yeah. Yeah. Is that the South? Somewhere in the South.
Right.
But no, you said the racism there is almost non-existent, so it can't be like the South. Where is this place? It has to be heaven.
Yeah, it's amazing. So, yeah. In related news, more California city. So there's another list that just came out, right? 10 California cities named most miserable according to Business Insider list. Now, this list actually sounds more scientific, a little bit more objective.
Yeah,
right?
I think Business Insider is credible.
So the way they came about this list, okay, it says this, okay. According to Business Insider, their list used census data from 1,000 cities and focused on opportunities, devastation from natural disaster, crime, and addiction rate, as well as abandoned houses.
Jeez, those are straight facts.
Yeah, right. And that's what they use to determine what's the most miserable cities. So out of the on the whole list, there's 10 cities that came from California. So I have the list here. So
oh my gosh.
I'm going to tell you the
I would like
the
to
California
be in none
cities.
of these cities.
Okay, so number 50 is Lancaster. Number 44 was Hemet. Number 42 is San Bernardino. Number 41, Compton. Number 40, Montebello. Number 36, Palmdale. Number 22, El Monte. And number 21, Linwood.
Okay.
And our friends Jason and Mindy from the Jason and Mindy podcast, they represent Lancaster and Palmdale. I think they live, I forget which one they live, because those are cities right next
sister
door.
Cities.
Yeah, they're right next door to each other. And so even though they live in one, it's both, they kind of claim both. But they live in one of those. And it didn't, I went out there to see them. It didn't seem miserable to me, but I was
miserable.
But I bet Jason and Mindy would give pause to this list. I don't think they would appreciate this.
No,
I don't think they would. They have a very nice house, very nice neighborhood.
Man,
very it was beautiful.
Yeah, it is some beautiful. There are beautiful homes in Lancaster and Palmdale. My godmother actually lives in Palmdale, so I would go out there every summer to visit her for a month.
Right.
And it's just, I think that everything's just so spread out. It's not like, oh, you can't just like really run over here or run over there.
Right.
And, we can go to the club, or we can go on Crenshaw, or we can go to Lamarck Park and, do something on a Sunday. And I just don't think that they have that yet. And I think that's what it is about a lot of these cities, well, minus Compton. I don't know what that's all about. But they just don't really have, everything is probably like a little bit more. They're newer cities.
Yeah, they are newer cities. Yeah.
They're just new cities. So.
Yeah, they are.
As far
some
as
of them.
Yeah.
Some of them.
Yeah.
At least Lancaster and Palmdale are new.
Yeah.
The other ones are, I don't know so much about them being all that new.
Well, they may be, but as far as just like being built up and,
I think they're getting there, though.
When's
the last time you've been out there?
Last year or 2 years ago?
I actually think what has hurt Lancaster and Palmdale more than anything, the property value here in the city going up so much, like the property value going up, because, that's a couple hours away, and it's a lot cheaper to buy homes out there, a lot more affordable.
Definitely.
And a lot of the riffraff, from the city who couldn't afford the rents and or houses.
Oh yeah,
they moved out there, and so they got a lot of our riffraff. They got a lot of our riffraff out there now. So some neighborhoods there, like I said, Jason and Mindy's neighborhood is very nice, but some neighborhoods out there I know have gotten really, kind of ghetto-y.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they got this.
They have gangs and everything out there.
Oh yeah, I know. I have friends that live out there aside from my godmother. So
yeah,
my godmother lives in a beautiful neighborhood. We used to go to the skate park.
Yeah.
And it was like a grocery store, like a few miles from her house. It was still a little bit of a drive.
Right.
But, she had some stuff in her neighborhood. But then we would have to drive for like 10 miles to get to something else.
See, that's why I hate poor people. You guys.
I'm messing it up.
I hate poor people.
Shoot.
Poor people, they mess stuff up.
Man.
They really do. I was just, just yesterday, we had a family. My little cousin had her 22nd birthday.
Oh, happy birthday!
We had a little birthday at El Tritos, and my mother-in-law was talking about how, because she works at the Staples Center, so she does all the games and everything. And she was saying at the Clipper game, she was surprised. She thought once I don't know what it. She said just the Clipper games versus the Laker games, just the difference in the crowd.
Wow.
and just the way they act or whatever, because there's certain people or certain concerts where they expect like usually if a hip hop person is going to be there, they expect a lot of marijuana smoking or whatever. If it's a jazz artist, then if you expect it to be older, more mellow crowd,
sneaking in wine,
right? Things like that. But they couldn't understand, or my mother-in-law was saying she couldn't understand why the Laker crowd basketball versus the Clipper crowd basketball, both LA based, why there's such a drastic difference in the behavior, right? And she said she was talking to one of her coworkers about it. Her coworker said, "Come here, let me show you." And she picked up her phone and she went to the Ticketmaster or wherever where they sell the tickets. And she showed her the prices of the tickets. And they had all these Clipper tickets $8 and $16 and all.
Clippers tickets are cheap.
And you don't have that with that. Even when the Lakers were losing.
Yeah, they were still like $30, $40.
Right. And she said that's the difference.
Wow.
That's the difference, because when these $8 people get up in here, that's how they act.
Wow. Wow.
So again, I hate poor people.
Yeah. That makes so much sense.
Yeah.
That just connected so many different dots,
right?
In different areas of my life.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is so true. You acting like an $8 ticket holder,
right?
That's
exactly.
why.
Yeah. Sometimes, and that's the sad, because and then when you're out shopping for deals, like sometimes you have to consider that, okay, well, if you're considering a venue or a restaurant or whatever, if it's too cheap, you might not want to go because of the crowd that it will attract.
That's true.
You know what I mean? Whereas you don't want to spend a fortune all the time.
Right.
And, we talk on this show all about hacks and,
being
saving
frugal.
money all the time. But the other side of that coin is there's times when,
got to pay for your quality.
You get what you pay for.
Yeah.
So.
Oh.
Yeah,
wow. And I am cheap.
But see, that kind of goes back to the same thing, like I was saying, how like the free things, like the Krispy Kreme, how they have like a free day, or how Baskin Robbins has a free.
Oh yeah.
And sometimes it's not so much that crowd is raunchy or ghetto or anything, but it's just so over. It's just so many people that, to me, I just rather just go ahead and I would just pay for whatever I want rather than trying to. Now, I'm not knocking those people, because fortunately I'm blessed enough that I'm in that place now. There was a time when all that stuff was, and that's part of the reason why now I think I'm tired of it, is because I did do that. I did I jumped through those hoops for free stuff and for free entertainment. I went to what do you call those, the movie screenings and stuff, and all the rigmarole that you go through or whatever, because I couldn't afford to go to the movies. And me and my broke college friends, we would go to that stuff. And it was a lot more fun when you young and you hanging with your friends and you're being rowdy, because it's free,
right.
And whatever else. But now, I'm not broke like that,
right.
And it's like, I will pay the $50 it takes for my family to go see a movie,
right?
A matinee,
and
some popcorn or whatever, versus trying to go jump through all those hoops for the freebie. Like, it's just it's not worth it to me anymore. My time and my energy and just the whole thing is like, no, I'm not about that life no more. I
tried to go. On July 11th, 7-Eleven has the free Slurpee day, or you bring your own cup.
Right.
You can fill it up with Slurpee.
Yeah.
So I tried to go. And I was just I'm like, oh, it's Slurpee. Let me go get a Slurpee.
Mm-hmm.
No, the Slurpee was everywhere. Like, the whole Slurpee section was trash. No more cups. No more straws.
Yeah.
The floor was sticky.
Yeah.
The handles were sticky. The air. I was like, I don't even want a Slurpee.
Right. It made you disgusted, huh?
I was disgusted. I was like, I don't ever want a Slurpee ever again in my life. I would have rather paid the $2 to have a nice experience.
Right.
Than to ever be turned off for Slurpees for the rest of my life.
Right.
For a free one.
There you go.
So.
Oh, I actually left off. There was 2 more cities. Those were 8. Here's 2 more cities on the list from California. Bell Gardens hit number 14, and Huntington Park hit number 10.
Wow.
And then
HP?
Just out of curiosity, Gary, Indiana ranked as the number 1 most miserable city, with Port Arthur, Texas coming in at number 2, and Detroit